ladies and gentlemen, this is Courage bringing you some AC4 Pistolier mode. Now, Pistolier mode is a widely touted sort of modification to the built-in Wanted mode that is built on GameLab. So GameLab lets you take a template mode and fiddle with a bunch of different parameters that can really rebalance a bunch of gameplay stuff. You can force players to use different ability sets, you can change how scoring works, you can turn off melee kills, as Pistolier does right here. So in Pistolier, you're not allowed to do melee kills. You can only kill your target by shooting someone with a pistol. On the other hand, stuns are still there, so you can still gain points by stunning. Everyone's forced to use the same ability set: pistol, disguise, and anti-shield. These two are kind of radically opposing in my opinion, because if you use disguise, then you can't run around. If you run around, then there's going to be, an LT, like lock this guy, sort of prompt right above your head, which completely defeats the purpose of using disguise in the first place. On the other hand, if you use shield, people are going to know you're a player. So it takes a lot of varied playstyle, I suppose. You have to vary between stealthy and running around like crazy in order to succeed in Pistolier mode. I had the opportunity to play Pistolier during PAX Prime, and honestly God, this has got to be the most fun I've had in ages. One of the most frustrating things about AC3 was that, in general, it was well balanced enough, but there were things that you wish you could change that you simply didn't have the power to. Yeah, I think this Lady Black, yeah, she's raising out her left hand. She's trying to get a kill on me, but realizes that she can't do melee kills. Oftentimes, if you get too close to your target, you'll just get punched. They'll see that you're walking weird, and you'll just get punched. And one of the very interesting things is that because of how this mode works, the usual strategy for playing Wanted well is just completely inverted. So usually when you play Wanted, you want to get close to your target, and you want to be breathing down their neck in a hidden group or something, stabbing them. This is different. If you're too close to your target, you run the risk of being stunned by them. And it completely runs counter to your instincts, I would say. So Portobelo is an interesting map because there's not a lot of perches, so there aren't any elevation differences with which you can actually kill your target. So you can't just climb up something and hope that you don't get stunned. So on one hand, you can stun a bunch of people. On the other hand, this kind of fuckfest, this kind of stunfest just happens where everyone just gets punched to the ground by a bunch of different people. Chasebreakers are a hit or a miss, no pun intended at all. But sometimes you run through a Chasebreaker and you think you're safe, and then you just drop dead in the middle of it because of lack of compensation, and on the other guy's screen they probably shot you before you even went in. On your screen it looks like you're dead after going through 2 different doors. Pretty damn infuriating if you ask me. So, other than that, there is also lock awareness, which as far as I can tell, none of the standard modes give you. So lock awareness, you'll see right here. If someone locks you, you hear this little sound. I think the sound effect is probably the same as the sound of someone starting a chase with you in AC3 or any of the older games. But in this game, since chases are just completely removed, you don't get them. Double stun. So you can tell if someone locked you, but that doesn't mean that was necessarily your pursuer or your target locking you. It just means a player locked you. this is why you shouldn't get too close to your target, since you'll just get stunned anyway.
Contract lost. The player has left the game session.
Right, so in addition to these modifications, I don't seem to remember if there's anything else. I think that's it. So you have lock awareness, you have melee kills disabled, you have a forced ability set where everyone uses shield, disguise, and pistol. You have very short cooldowns, and you have a very short aiming time for pistol. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this is a mode where because of the fact that melee kills have been disabled, you can literally run through everything and mash X, and you will stun whatever is hostile to you. And I don't think at this point I realized this, and I still try to lock onto personas and shit. The other thing that I don't quite remember. Oh, right. This mode doesn't actually change your crafting configuration. So, in Game Lab, there is a possibility of you changing any player's crafting configuration. So, for example, you can force everything to be crafted at max, or you can craft everything, or you can like get rid of everyone's crafts or something like that. But this is a mode where your crafting isn't messed with. So for example, you can craft your Animus shield to 3 charges, and you will be at an advantage compared to everyone else. Because you can, say, take 3 gunshots and not die for maybe, I don't know, 4.5 seconds or 5. Whereas everyone else might have the default shield, which is only like, what, 1 charge, a few seconds. I'm not sure if there's a good strategy that pertains to Pistolier, but as far as I can tell, it involves mixing 2 very radically different playstyles. Right, I've mentioned this before, I think. On one hand, you sort of kind of have to use disguise and be sneaky, and on the other hand, sometimes you just need to get into the right line of sight and get the shot off. And here I fail at the latter, but succeed at the former. There's also no like multiplier bonuses or anything. Like the approach meter has been turned off, the multipliers have been turned off. So you just need to get a really good shot. There's something buggy, I think, that goes with the aiming time. Like back in ACB, you could no-scope someone, and either it'll tell you that your shot missed, or you will actually successfully shoot the target. But I have hit instances in this game where you would just sort of let go and try to no-scope, and instead of saying you shot an obstacle or you missed the shot, it would just sort of cancel your pistol shot. And I think this breaks the game very greatly, because instead of, you know, taking the chance or actually enjoying the very short aiming time, you're almost forced to aim fully. And a lot of times, if you wait so long, then your target is just going to run behind a wall and you're just going to shoot an obstacle. Or sometimes you won't have the time and someone's going to shoot you before you even finish aiming someone. So at this point I've got about a minute left, and I'm desperate in trying to get this guy, but there's like too many obstacles in Portobelo. So that's a blessing and a curse. On one hand, you have pretty much all the obstacles that you can enjoy to avoid getting shot. On the other hand, that makes your own shots really difficult to do. See, this is the problem with not having a longer lasting Animus shield. you can stun one guy and then have another guy just wait for your shield to go off.
A new player
Then
has joined
you
the
get
game
shot.
session.
About 20 seconds left. I'm desperate for more points, so I hang around other players and I wait for something to go down. This Wayfarer doesn't want any of that and just runs away. So I bide my time. This guy wants to shoot me close range. I don't let that happen. And I can't shoot the Wayfarer, so I take one literally last second ground finish and hit exactly 10k. So there you have it, 10 kills, 10k with only 4 deaths. And I don't remember how many stuns I get. So that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed this 10k match. See you next match / next upload. Bye-bye.